Daemon possesses one of the most unique and overpowered abilities in the Naruto/Boruto franchise. His power allows him to reflect any attack that could cause him harm, making it nearly impossible for opponents to land a successful hit. This ability is so broken that even as a child, Daemon stands as a formidable force. Beyond his reflective powers, his physical stats, including strength, speed, and agility, are incredibly impressive. He effortlessly defeated No Limiter Code, despite Code being stated to surpass even Jigen in strength after his limiters were removed. To put this into perspective, Jigen was powerful enough to defeat both Naruto and Sasuke at their peak, highlighting just how dangerous Daemon truly is. Amato even revealed that he had created cyborgs more powerful than Jigen, but Jigen, fearing a challenge to his authority, ordered their disposal to maintain his position as leader. However, some of these cyborgs were secretly preserved in a hidden location by Boro, who was captivated by Ida's charm and defied Jigen's orders. Among these cyborgs was Daemon, and after his release, he wasted no time in proving his superiority, effortlessly demonstrating his overwhelming strength and abilities, further solidifying his position as one of the most dangerous characters in the series. However, the main focus of this video is to break down Daemon's ability and clear up some common misconceptions surrounding it. Many fans are still confused about how his ability works. Specifically, whether Daemon needs to physically touch his opponent for his power to activate, or if it functions without direct contact. I'll be explaining his abilities as clearly as possible, taking it step by step to make everything easy to understand. Before we dive in, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the post notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. With that said, let's jump right into it. Daemon's ability is classified as a divine technique, also known as Shinjutsu, which originally belonged to the Otsutsuki god, Shibai Otsutsuki. After ascending to a higher plane of existence and shedding his physical body, Shibai left behind remnants of his divine power. Amato somehow acquired these remains and implanted them into the cyborgs he created, which is how Daemon inherited his extraordinary ability. In fact, there are other cyborgs besides Daemon who were also granted such godlike powers through this process. Now that we've covered how Daemon acquired his abilities, let's break down how his power actually works. Daemon can reflect any attack that would cause him harm. This ability is so overpowered that he can defeat a large number of enemies without lifting a finger. In addition to physical attacks, Daemon reflects harmful intent back to the attacker. For instance, when an opponent merely thought of cutting off his head, the intent was reflected back before the sword was even drawn. The stronger the opponent's intent to harm, the greater the damage they receive in return. Interestingly, Daemon can also reflect attacks that don't inflict physical damage, as demonstrated when he reflected Code's claw marks, which weren't meant to cause harm. His ability activates automatically, meaning Daemon can counter attacks even when he's caught off guard. Moreover, he can transfer this power to anyone in physical contact with him, allowing others to benefit from his reflection ability as well. Now, here's the most important part. Does Daemon really need to be touching someone in order to reflect attacks? A lot of people believe this, and it's largely due to Bug's statement, where he claims that Daemon can only reflect attacks when he's touching someone. This idea was further reinforced by Ida's reaction to Bug after he made that claim. I understand why many fans believe Bug's statement, especially since, whenever Daemon reflects attacks, he's often seen making contact with someone, usually riding on someone's back. This visual association has led to the assumption that physical contact is necessary for his ability to activate. However, this might not be the whole truth, and it's important to look at the details to fully understand how Daemon's ability works. Let's explore that further. Bug doesn't fully understand Daemon's abilities, which is why his statement about Daemon needing to touch someone in order to reflect attacks is misleading. In reality, Daemon can reflect attacks without making physical contact with another person. Let's refer to Amato's explanation of how Daemon's ability works. In the first two key statements from the panel, Amato says, he reflects all attacks, any attack that will inflict harm on him. This clearly establishes that Daemon's reflection ability operates independently, without needing to touch anyone. Now, in the following statement, Amato adds, and though it's necessary for his hand to be touching another person, his ability will also transfer to the person currently touching him. The distinction here is important. The right side of the panel explains Daemon's natural ability to reflect attacks, while the left side addresses the additional feature, where Daemon can transfer his ability to someone he's touching. This is how Code was able to utilize Daemon's reflection ability during his battle with Kawaki by bringing Daemon into the fight and reflecting Kawaki's blast back at him. So, while Bug's statement may suggest that physical contact is a requirement, Amato's explanation clarifies that Daemon can reflect attacks on his own, and touching someone merely allows him to extend this power to others. Here's another reason why Bug's statement isn't accurate. Bug specifically said that Daemon can only reflect attacks when he's touching someone with his hands. But if we look at this panel closely, Daemon reflects Code's claw mark, without his hands touching anyone. If we were to assume that another part of Daemon's body was touching Bug at the time, then logically, Daemon's ability should have transferred to Bug. However, that clearly isn't the case, because Code's claw mark landed directly on Bug, showing that the reflection ability wasn't transferred. This is solid evidence that Daemon does not need to be in physical contact with someone, especially using his hands, for his ability to work. Bug's statement is simply inaccurate in this context. Here's yet another example that proves Bug's statement wrong. In this panel, Daemon is sitting on a couch with his hands resting behind it, clearly not in contact with anyone. Yet Kawaki's intent to clobber Daemon was reflected back onto him. This shows that Daemon doesn't need to touch anyone to activate his ability. Another clear example is in the panel where Daemon wasn't touching anyone with his hands, yet a guard's head was cut off after he intended to decapitate Daemon. This confirms that Daemon's ability to reflect harmful intent activates regardless of physical contact. Daemon may have a habit of riding on the backs of others, but it's just part of his playful and bratty personality. His tendency to ride on others has nothing to do with enabling his reflection ability. It's simply his way of getting around or having fun. His powers work independently of whether or not he's physically in contact with someone. Daemon also has the ability to deactivate his reflection power at will, allowing him to enjoy a fight without relying on his overpowered ability. For instance, during his first encounter with Boruto and Kawaki, he chose to dodge Boruto's attack instead of reflecting it. Similarly, he reacted to Kawaki's rods without reflecting them either. This shows that Daemon is not just a passive fighter. He can actively engage in combat and choose how to utilize his powers, adding a layer of strategy and enjoyment to his battles. In this panel, Amato explicitly explains that any murderous intent directed at Daemon will be reflected back onto the attacker. However, there may be specific conditions tied to how this ability functions, which could explain why Ida prevents Daemon from revealing too much about his powers. There's still a lot we don't fully understand about Daemon, including the name of his Shinjutsu, or the full extent of his strength when he fights at his maximum potential. Given this uncertainty, one thing is clear: Daemon doesn't need to physically touch an opponent for his reflection ability to activate. Until more information about him and his abilities is revealed, we can only speculate on the finer details of his power, but it's evident that physical contact is not a requirement for his Shinjutsu to work. It's clear that Daemon stands as a unique force in the series, showcasing the intricate mechanics of his abilities. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Daemon's powers, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe for more content, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our upcoming videos. Thanks for watching, and let us know your thoughts on Daemon in the comments below.